So we'll get to the reason why I am here on a Friday night. That is going in the car tonight. We got to take this, we got to pull it out. First, I got to move some stuff around with this thing in the way. I kind of had to shove everything this way on Sunday. Just, it was a rush thing, so I got to do a little bit of organization here. And then we're going to pull the motor out here in the middle, get it off of the engine stand and on the hoist, because we got to put the flywheel and the clutch kit on it and get it ready to drop it in the car. Before I leave this shop tonight, the engine and transmission will be in that car. Mark my words. So as I get moving, as I get rolling, I'll bring you guys along, show you where we're at, what we're going up with. I am expecting that this is going to be an easy job. I might have just jinxed myself. We'll see, but I'm gonna keep you guys updated. We're gonna go ahead and get started because I got a lot to do in a very short amount of time. I know you were saying, but what about the news on that? So that is actually kind of cool. So I've already told you guys that this truck is getting Game Over's heart. The 468 that was in that truck, the owner of that truck who decided he wanted to go with a bigger cubic inch big block, hit me up and said, hey, you want it? Absolutely I do. But here is the news that y'all don't know about yet, and that is that the sniper system that was also in Game Over, he's taking that completely out. We're getting it. Complete sniper system that was in that truck is going in this truck. Fuel system, everything. I was kind of gonna hold off, and I said that really weird. I was gonna hold off and get a Sniper 2 system for this truck, but at the price that I'm getting all this stuff, what I paid for the Sniper 1 system that was in Game Over, that was already attached to that motor and all that, I would have been at least half of that cost in a carburetor. Then that motor doesn't have a push rod or fuel pump on the side because I took it off. So I'd have to, I mean, just the little odds and ends and stuff like that would have ended up costing me more, or the same if not more, than to just get the Sniper system and put it on this truck. I know that Sniper system, it has been on that truck. The tune that's in that computer is for that truck, or for that engine, and so it just kind of all made sense. So this truck is gonna go from a sad carbureted small block to a fuel injected big block Chevy. And so that I just can't wait for. But this truck is obviously set off to the side. We're not touching this until the Corvette is up and running, and then this truck will get put where the Corvette is. I got the sniper system for the Corvette. I'm waiting on the fuel system for the Corvette. That is the last piece of the puzzle. So my guide for this, or my aim, is to get this car as close to done as I possibly can. So when the fuel system comes in, we're throwing it in the truck, adding some fuel lines, wiring up the fuel system, and turning the key. And so we got a lot of work ahead of us. We're gonna get rolling tonight. Like I said, I'll keep you updated on where we're at and what's going on, but this is gonna be fun. All right, we got updates. So as you can see, the small block is up here on the engine hoist. We were putting the clutch and stuff together and torquing all of the pressure plate bolts down, and this one right here decided those threads did not want to be part of this flywheel anymore. So we're a little bit screwed, not completely, but enough to where we're gonna pull this stuff back off because I don't want that red Loctite down there to set in too good. And then we're gonna go ahead and still continue on getting the engine in the car. This will just have to get put in up under the car once the engine's in and we're all done. Not the end of the world, not the way I wanted to do it, but you know, we're gonna improvise, adapt, and overcome. Engine's in the car. It is currently being held up by the engine hoist because where these motor mounts are, they're so far forward on the block that if I just let it hang, it's gonna droop back. So we're gonna climb under there and run a strap under the back of the oil pan in between the frame rails to support it. That way we can let this down. And then, where is it? Pull that off. And then, yeah. So unfortunately, with me having issues with the flywheel, this is all we can do tonight. This is a big step, and surprisingly enough, it just dropped down in place. Once I got the car up high enough to get the engine hoist in on the side to clear the tire, because when I took the motor out, it had no front suspension, and so that didn't get in the way of the tire. But lifted the car up, got this in from the side, got it down on the perches, bolts are in, the engine is in the car. This has just kind of reinvigorated me to get this thing done and get this car running. So yeah, that's where we are. All right, so we got our strap supporting the motor. Went ahead and kind of plugged in my sensors and stuff here just to get a gauge on how much to fit back there. But this is where we will end the night, and this is a big step. Corvette has her heart back, and now all the fun stuff can start. I still have not decided if I'm going to leave those ram horns on there, or if maybe we'll try to find a slick set of headers to go in this car. That's still kind of up in the air. We'll see. But this is a huge step. It's got me motivated again. I'm pumped. I'm ready to get this thing together so we can go drive this car. All right, so we're here for day 2 on this weekend. Not used to working this many days in the shop, but it's pretty nice. So this morning I had to go to Harbor Freight. You can see I got another, where is it? Right there. One of these little A-frame pieces. And I use these to stabilize the car whenever it's on lift, just kind of an insurance thing for me. And so I went and got another one. That way I can have 2 to stabilize the car, and then I can use this one. You can see it's on the oil pan. That'll allow me to kind of raise and lower this while I'm under here working. But we got our new flywheel. We're gonna go ahead and get up under the car and kind of get everything sorted, and we're gonna go from there. After the flywheel and the clutch assembly are on, you can see I've got the TKX over there out of the box. We're gonna put the bell housing on that, get the throw out and all that, the shift fork and all that on there, and get it ready to put it up in the car. This car does not have a removable trans cross member, and so we're gonna have to play a little bit with that. This isn't gonna be the fun part. I really wanted to put this all in as one piece, and technically I could still do that. We're not too far, but the engine's already in the car, so we're just gonna roll with it. We'll probably have to get that up and kind of scoot it a ways past the cross member, just to kind of get everything in, get it seated into the clutch, and go from there. Underneath the car, I don't think I've ever showed you under here. I've got this sitting on the oil pan so I can adjust the height back here for when we get ready to put the transmission in. But you can see we've got to put our flywheel on. We'll put our clutch assembly and everything on and get all that ready to put the bell housing on. And then it's going to be kind of a shuffle. I don't know exactly if it's going to be bell housing first and then try to stab the transmission into that, or if we're going to put the bell housing on the transmission and put it in. The C2 was a little bit different because there's a cross member here that we had to make removable. This car does not have a removable cross member, and so we're gonna kind of see, kind of play around. We'll figure it out. This is not gonna be the fun part, but we'll get it there, I'm sure. Well, we have an oops that kind of shut us down. It's not the end of the world, but this is a factory 69 flywheel that goes on the factory 69 small block. This car, I don't know if you can see that sticker there, but it has a ZZ4 crate engine, which is a 1-piece rear main and aluminum head, center bolt head. So basically a newer style, which this flywheel came off of. And I don't know if you can see the difference, but it is substantial, and this will not work. So luckily, my boys over at O'Reilly, we've been on the phone for the last about 20 minutes or so, and we think we've got it figured out, and we've tracked down the correct one. And so we're going to stick that back in the box, throw that in the back of the truck, and at 3 o'clock we'll go back up to O'Reilly and compare, contrast, and hopefully by then we have the correct flywheel and we can finish what we started. I really want this transmission to be in this car today. So the TKX is now officially mounted in the car. I've only got a couple bell housing bolts in right now because I thought I had a package of brand new ones, but I guess I don't. So just got a couple in to start it. As you can see, the clutch linkage is also connected. But yeah, so it's in, it's mounted. It is hard mounted into the car. So what it took to get here is the kicker. So thankfully I had a buddy Frank that stopped by and was just kind of shooting the shit. I ain't seen him in a while. And so he was here to lend a hand. So what we did is we pulled the motor back out of the car, just up enough to get it off the mounts, and then slid it forward. And then I muscled this over the cross member here and kind of pushed it back out of the way. And then while the motor was free hanging, we got the bell housing attached, got a couple bolts in to start it, and then we were able to set it back in, put it back down on the pads, get the bolts back in it, and get it back where it's supposed to be. But if I ever have to take this transmission out of this car again, we're getting the removable cross member brackets. We're going to cut this cross member out just like we did on the 66, and we'll put it in this car, because that was a pain. Giant pain in the ass, but we are done. The transmission is in, and we can continue on. So this weekend, even though we fought, we had a couple issues and a couple little workarounds, overall, good weekend. So I will be back up here next Friday. So we're gonna start doing 2 days a week. So Friday nights and Sundays. Friday nights will be until I get tired, and Sundays are all day. But we're moving along pretty good, and I'm very happy with the progress that we made this weekend. Very good. See y'all.